Akinyelure. Thanks very much for granting us this audience. My name is Dennis Admonishes. Senate 109 is our program. Thank you very much, sir. So you're welcome, and thanks once again for granting us this interview. I hope you've been enjoying your annual recess.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
I see I'm at work.
Yes. All right. Let's start with electoral matters. Obviously, a lot has been said about forthcoming Edo and Ondo elections. Just give us your general feel of how the process has gone so far in both states. Obviously, Ondo is more of your major interest. So just give us your take on how things have gone so far and what are your expectations leading up to and during election time.
Well, my name is distinguished Senator Akinyelure, representing Ondo Central in the Senate of Net Assembly. By the benevolence of the leadership of the Senate, the chairman of the Senate Committee on Ethics, Privileges and Public Petitions. While this is a special committee of the Senate, and the question you are asking is political, and we are politicians here. I represent Ondo Central on the platform of PDP in the Senate of Net Assembly. The Edo election is going to be a test case. There are only two dominant parties in Nigeria: the ruling party, the APC, and then the opposition party, the leading opposition party, the PDP, People's Democratic Party. That party that has ruled this country for 16 years consecutively. We believe they have the experience, they have the capacity to deliver for Nigerians. Change agenda came in 2015. There was a change of party to APC government led by General President Buhari. Today, Nigeria has tested another leaders under a platform of APC. They can compare and contrast the economy of the nation when PDP was in power for 16 good years, because they continue to rule us then under the platform of PDP. Nigeria was tired at the point, yearning for another leadership to lead this country. By democratic process, by mergers of political parties, they were able to come together under a platform of APC, All Progressive Congress, to what? To send PDP government packing. But what have we gotten for it? This is almost the fifth and a half years of APC ruling in Nigeria. You can evaluate as a Nigerian. We are stakeholders in this country. We can now distinguish between white, black, and red. President Buhari has done all his best. He has been able to launch a program of anti-corruption campaign. But what have we gotten for it? Are we really? With the good intention of President Buhari, all these, ministers, all these parastatal executives, where have they led the country today? That is a food for thought for Nigerians. President Buhari will not contest for third term because the Constitution of Nigeria does not allow it. He is presently the chief executive of the whole Nigeria, the commander of what? of the Armed Forces of Federal Republic of Nigeria. He will use his own term till 2023. Then who takes over the battle? Nigeria will decide. Because now, there's a comparison. They have tested 16-year reign of PDP. Now, they will test 8 good years of APC by 2023. God give him life, good health to our Mr. President, because he has good intention though. But can it be in Nassau Rock at the same time be ruling Ondo State or be ruling, Edo State? The answer is no. The people of Edo State will decide when they go to the polls. But what we are praying, Mr. President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Buhari, is to let there be a free and fair election. Let the ruling power don't use soldier to snatch ballot boxes. Let the whole Nigeria exercise their franchise to decide who should be their governor in Ondo and Edo State. Let Nigeria be given free chance to what? To assess the government in power. If the assessment is favorable, that is they score 60 or 70%, they will vote them back to power. But if the assessment is below the expectation of Nigerians, let Nigerians be allowed to choose their leaders. In 2015 election, Nigeria said they want change. The president the president of Nigeria then, President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, he allowed Nigeria to choose their leader. There was free and fair election. Even before they concluded the last state, before they concluded the coalition in the last or 2 states, he has surrendered. That let the batting change to give it to Buhari to go and lead the country. There was a democratic transition. The then Goodluck Jonathan was the commander-in-chief of Armed Forces of Federal Republic of Nigeria. Because he said he doesn't want to, use any blood of Nigeria to remain in power. He surrendered. And there was a peaceful transition. I, as the chief ombudsman of the Senate, because this committee is a special committee of the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, where 109 of us are assembled in the legislature. 109 senators representing 109 districts in Nigeria means these are the representatives of Nigerians assembled in the legislature. We are all stakeholders in this country. We don't want any leader to throw this country into chaos. We don't want any political party to throw this country into chaos. Therefore, let there be free and fair democratic election in the states. The Oshiomhole fashion in Edo State, the incumbent governor's fashion, when we could not be given ticket, he said, okay, have a freedom to pick ticket somewhere else. And PDP counted him worthy to be given the ticket. And he was given the ticket. My advice as the chief ombudsman of the Senate for that, we seek peace. I've been the charter accountant in practice for over 40 years before I even coming to the Senate. We know our onions here. We talk about accuracy and integrity in my profession, the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria. In this country, the country belongs to all of us. We don't want this country to be thrown into chaos. What led to civil war? Let Nigerians go to YouTube and search the civil war of 67 to when? Almost 6 or 7 years in civil war. We don't want this country to be thrown into any chaos. We have practiced democracy. This is almost 18 or 19 years that we have practiced democracy, and there have been a peaceful transition. Like I said, we are here to knock door for Nigerians who cannot open door as stakeholders in this country. So the Edo election is going to show what 2020 is going to tell us. Whether the ruling power will allow Nigerians to exercise their franchise. The power of Igubeni is very great. But we know the president to be a man of fear, that has fear of God in his heart. He's very old, but he is still exercising his what? He's doing his duty. Primary duty of what? Making peace to reign in Nigeria. Mr. President should call all the stakeholders of APC to order that they should allow the people of Edo and the people of Ondo to exercise their franchise. Last week, we saw an example of what Nigerians may be expecting. But we believe Mr. President has a role to play to call all the state governors into order. In Ondo State, for instance, PDP withdrew that they are not partaking in a local government election because they have seen the writing on the wall that is going to be rigging in totality. So what is the essence of what? Engaging in an assignment that will yield nothing. We say we are not partaking. But we saw what happened. There were tongue printing in perpetuity. It was circulated in social media. At the end of the day, they declared themselves the winner in nearly all the local government. There was peace. But let there not be such intention of the present administration in Ondo State to rig election in governorship election. He knows, Governor Akinyelure knows that Ondo State hates cheating. They can, as a result of that, if they rig their votes, they are ready to die. During the reign of Labour Party in Ondo State, when Ondo State decides this is where they are going, you can't change their will. They are ready to put their life on table. We don't want anybody's blood to shed in Ondo State. Governor Akinyelure is a peaceful individual, but his followers, his team of thugs, are terrorizing people in Ondo State. I, as the chief of one of them, I'm calling on Mr. President of the nation to please call them to order. Let there be peaceful election in Ondo State.
All right, sir. Thank you for that. Let's move on.
On that note, Mr. Moderator, I have not landed.
Okay.
I have not landed. Allow me to land safely.
All right, sir.
The question is that we are appealing to Mr. President to give directives that all the security agents, there should be an unbiased empire in the election. Let the votes of Ondo people count. Let the votes of Edo people count. We are lovers of peace in that state. I want to give an example of what happened in 2011. I mean 2007. When Mimiko decided to go and run for governorship in Ondo State, the then President Buhari said, "This boy, you are not going anywhere. Choose any portfolio, I will give it to you." But we in Ondo State will call Mimiko, this is his own chance. If you are not allowed to take ticket under AC, then go and pick any political party. We have resolved to change government in Ondo State. Was PDP in the government of the federation? PDP minister of the federation, but Ondo State decided that they want Mimiko, Olusegun Mimiko, to be their governor. He brought Labour Party 90 days to the election. The people of them resolved that they were going to vote for him. The late Olusegun Agagu was on seat. Was on seat of power in Ondo State. They have power in the state, they have power in the federal. But Ondo State resolved that they are following Mimiko. They voted for Mimiko. But towards the end of the game, instead of declaring Mimiko, Olusegun Agagu was declared the winner. They went to court. Ondo State stood by Olusegun Mimiko. They were in court for 22 months. They were back off dollars on Christian Ondo State rejected that they never voted for the late Olusegun Agagu. That it is Olusegun Mimiko they voted for. They stood by him from the tribunal to the appeal, and eventually Mimiko was declared the winner. All what we are saying is story. For the other Nigeria to know that Ondo State is different from other states of Nigeria, they don't take bribe. You cannot influence them against their own decision. Therefore, the present governor of Ondo State has been there for almost 5 years now. Almost for 3.5 years, have you? Approximately. For his first term to expire. Ondo State have looked at him, they have assessed him. If he has done well, they will vote for him back. If he has not done well, when the people when they are spoken, nobody changed their decision. That's why we are appealing to Mr. President of the nation to please allow the votes of Ondo people to count. If they resolve to change, they will vote him out. But let no man who is born of human being change the decision of Ondo State people. The same thing applicable to Edo State. They are all qualified to be governor. Everybody contesting that his party has given him to be a flag bearer is qualified to be governor. But only one person will emerge. And let that person that emerge be the voice of the people. Not the voice of the soldiers or the voice of the security agents or the voice of people uttering, ballot papers. That is where Ondo State will say no. So, we are appealing to Mr. President once again. President Buhari is a peace-loving individual. He has fought war for Nigeria for peace to reign. And he fought in the battle. God never claimed his life. That is why, after many years, one time he lose hope that he can never be president, he was democratically elected as the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Today, it's in the House of Rock. So, Mr. President, we are your senators here, the senators of Federal Republic of Nigeria. We are speaking the minds of Nigeria. We are the closest to the grassroots. We know their pains. If they want to change government in any state, let them change. The way they change. In 2015, and you became the President of Federal Republic of Nigeria. So, anything that has a beginning must have an end. The end of your term will end in 8 years' time. And when it's exactly 8 years. Because the Constitution don't allow you to spend 9 years. Therefore, we are praying that a do election, and in October, Ondo election, we want peace. We don't want to shed blood, but let there be peaceful transition in the two states. That is my submission.
Thank you, distinguished. All right, you mentioned earlier your committee, Chairman, Senate Committee on Ethics, Privileges and Public Petitions. Just give us a broad highlights of how the main impact that this committee is supposed to have on the masses.
Well, thank you, Mr.
Akinyelure
of NT. You see, this is a committee, we call it Special Committee of the Senate of Federal Republic. It is a special committee. You see, the committee serves as the chief ombudsman of Nigeria. The committee is to be the voice of the voiceless Nigerians. The committee has of ethics, privileges, and public petitions. 3 in 1. Committee talks about the ethical behavior of all senators in the Federal Republic of Nigeria, of all executive arm of government, the public servant, the civil servant. What are their ethical behaviors? In the laid down procedure to work for the government of Federal Republic of Nigeria. Then what are their privileges? The privileges of senators, the privilege of the executive arm of government, the privilege of the judicial arm of government, as entrenched in the Constitution of Federal Republic of Nigeria. What are their rights and privileges? What are the rights and privileges of individuals operating in this country? What are the problems of the public sector in operating in this country? What are their ethical behaviors that they must follow? This is the committee that's overseeing all this. So it is all over. That's why we call it Special Committee of the Senate. Because this committee too talks about Nigerians whose rights have been infringed upon in their various constituencies. But they don't have money to hire SA. They don't have money to hire a lawyer to go to the court of competent jurisdiction to go and seek redress. This committee is inaugurated in the National Assembly. We have the committee in the Senate. We also have it in the lower chamber of the National Assembly, that is the House of Representatives. And every Nigerian has a representative in this National Assembly. There are 360 federal constituencies in Nigeria, and each of the federal government have a representative in the lower chamber of the National Assembly. Then we have the upper chamber of National Assembly, that's the Senate. Every Nigerian has a representative in the Senate. We have 109 Central District. I am saying all this one to educate the whole Nigeria. That we are here as your representative democratically elected to what? To protect your rights where you don't have money to seek redress in the court of law. And what are the procedures of a petition? If you feel your right have been infringed upon as Nigerians, you can forward your petition to the Senate President of Federal Republic of Nigeria and urge the Senate to look into the matter for further legislative actions. Such petitions are referred to this committee after being laid in the plenary, and such petition is captured by the votes and proceedings of the Senate. As soon as it's probable, we are not collecting money from anybody, because you use your hand, you use your thumb printing to thumb print for us to vote us democratically here. So we are not charging for the services like a lawyer. Like when you want to approach the chamber of SAN, say, go and drop a check of 5 million naira because I will listen to your complaint. Here is pro bono. We are not collecting money. What you try to identify who is your representative, who is your senator. Every state has 33 senators. The federal capital territory of Nigeria has 1 senator. That's why we make it 109 senators. So every Nigerian has a representative in the Senate. So you can channel your petition to what? Through your senator or through your House of Rep member to lay it for hearing without any charges. This committee, by the benefit of the leadership of the 7th Senate, I was the chairman. And in 2019 election, I was again returned by the majority votes of my people to come back to the Senate as a ranking senator. And again, by the benefit of the leadership of the now Assembly, I was also made the chairman of this particular committee. Because no lazy man can be made a chairman of this committee. You look at my table, these are petitions of Nigerians. Many of my colleagues are on holiday now. I can't be on holiday because I need to what? Look at these papers and they what? Fight for the rights of Nigerians. That's why I'm sitting. Therefore, this committee is a committee that is loaded with responsibility to seek redress where Nigerians' rights have been infringed upon.
All right. Okay, just very briefly, obviously you're still on recess. Just assess first how well the 9th Senate has done in its first year and what your expectations are upon resumption.
Well, we thank God, like the first session has gone. You see, since the assumption of this Senate, many cases up to 60 have been resolved. 1, through public hearing. 2, through alternative dispute resolution. There are some cases that are lasted in the court of law for 8, 10 years, 15 years. That is resolved, that have been resolved in this committee within 2 months. And they go home happily. But the procedure is that any case in court cannot be entertained in this committee. If you have any case in court and you get to the middle, you have no money to continue. If you want to come back to your representative, you will withdraw that case from court before you can approach this committee. I'm saying all this now for the benefit of Nigerians. You don't just write petition to your representative if you are still in court, because it will be prejudice. Any case in court, because the judicial arm of government is the 3rd arm of government. They are also there to what? To do adjudication, where people seek redress through the legal process. But as the chief officer of the Senate, I'm the Chief Justice of the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I represent the interests of 109 Central Districts. Anybody who brings petition here is treated with fair. Is treated without fear or favor. It is the document before the committee that will be the basis of the decision of the committee. We will invite the respondent. We also invite the petitioner. Face your Nigeria. Tell the Nigerians where your rights are being infringed upon. If the relevant constitution of Nigeria and the rules guided our sitting, if we see that it's right to be infringed, we will recommend that some agency that cheated them should make amends and do the needful. So, like I said, there are bundles of petition here. When we resume second session of this Senate, we will start the process again. During this holiday, we have received more than 50 petitions that have been referred to me here. The first day of the sitting, I will officially lay it in the plenary. And then votes and proceedings will capture their referral, and then we start action. Work. No lazy man can be a member of this committee. But they are all experienced legislators. Some of them are qualified to be SAN. but decided to come and represent their people in the Red Chamber of National Assembly. We are loaded with experience. Nobody should take us for a ride. And we will never go beyond the rules that governs us as senators. But let no man think that those of us here, we are politicians. We are not politicians alone. We are professionals to the core. We have made success in our various professional endeavor before coming to the Senate to come and take care of our people. And therefore, every Nigerians who shall be free are free to approach this committee for assistance. To tell the Nigerians that, well, this is the case. You don't have money to go to court, but you have people. We are here for you, Nigerians. If your rights have been infringed upon, whatever any race you belong, there's no discrimination in the Senate of Federal Republic of Nigeria. The present Senate is being led by Senator Ahmed Lawan, a man who is loaded with legislative experience. He ought to have been governor in his state many years ago. He said he loved legislative work. And today, he has made it to be #1 citizen in the legislature. As what? The President of the Senate of Federal Republic and the Chairman of the National Assembly. He's a man of integrity, a PhD holder, loaded with experience, and we enjoy his leadership in the Senate. You know, it has been peaceful. Where government of the executive arm of government has, bills that we have to Nigerians, we will be given accelerated hearing and passage. That is why, when we are on holiday, I'm a member of the Finance Committee of the Senate. Senator Abiola Olabileka is the chairman of the committee. They pass MTF and the FSP paper to the committee. He has to call out where we are. Those who want to fly from our phone number, we are assembled. We have been in session for the past 5 days to ensure that we pass MTF, so that Mr. President and Commander of Chief of Armed Forces of Federal Government will be able to present his 2021 budget before the end of the year, before the National Assembly. And we are determined to give it accelerated passage, so that we have returned in this National Assembly the what? The legislative the fiscal year from January to December. If not because of the COVID-19 that has slowed down process, by now, budget would have been implemented 70 or 80%. But we believe, even with the COVID, we want to commend Mr. President for his action and the leadership of the National Assembly for their quick intervention to ensure that COVID-19 becomes a thing of the past, so that our economy can return back to normal. Like I said, we are here, we are determined to ensure that executive arm of government, are on the same page with National Assembly on issues that will be of value to the people who voted us here. But where, for instance, any bill or any law is not going to be in Nigeria, we will turn it down, dead on arrival. But I believe, since the inception of the next Senate or National Assembly, the National Assembly leadership and all senators have been at peace with Mr. President to execute his mandate. On that note, I want to thank you, because this Senate is determined to what? To make a difference in what? In adding value to Nigerians.
Distinguished Senator.
Just so many. Distinguished sir. My name is Sani Onogu.
Yeah.
I write for the Nation newspapers.
Thank you.
Well, I'm going to ask you, he has already asked the question I wanted to ask, but I'm going to ask you a lighter question now.
Okay.
All over one. Why do they call you all over one?
It is a testimonial name.
Okay.
All over one is testimonial name.
Okay.
It is testimonial.
Okay.
I'm using the name to thank God for my life, because all over the world, Jesus is alive.
Yes.
It's an incident, I'm going to cut it short.
Okay, sir.
It's an incident that happened in 1992. The first house I built in Lagos, in Alagbado, Lagos. They came, my brother came, 13 of them came. Young man here, where's your money? I said, I don't have money in the house. Though. They said this old man is very stubborn. He's having plenty car in his compound. I said, I don't work for government. I'm a chartered accountant in practice. I make my money through hard work. I don't keep money in the house. Money is in the bank. If you want me to write check for you, I will write check for you. I will give you money. They open fire on my head. This is a gunshot. People talk about alopecia. This is what they call all over one. Jesus is alive. My life would have been terminated in 1992 November 2nd, but God keep me alive. So now I'm determined to God that I will continue to give praise to Him till the end of my life. So I now change my business empire to all over consulting, all over Central Polytechnic, all over an association limited. That is all over the world. Jesus is alive. That's the meaning of all over one. And it is a testimonial. When I was buying my Jeep, all over one, all over two, all over three, all over four. I am using it to thank God. Somebody whose life was to be terminated years back can now ride a 4-runner Jeep. In the city of Lagos, you see all over one, all over two, all over three, all over four. That is it. That is what makes me to be an all over man. And you know those same parties, they call me all over one. All over one. I am all over one. So today, in my polytechnic, I offer free education, scholarship scheme to children of, less privilege. As we speak today, the number of students enjoy scholarship of all over one in their polytechnic, they are more than 200. And the scholarship is open to all Nigerians who are underprivileged to receive tertiary education. In my district, I make it free. Tuition free. Tuition free for 50% of tuition free. I will pay the 50%. Let the parents pay the 50% to just run to pay lecturer's fee. The scholarship is available to all Nigerians who want to receive education in my polytechnic. Because I'm using to thank God for my life that the man who they shot in the head in 1992 is still alive. And today, the chief ombudsman of the Senate of Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Thank you, distinguished. Grateful. Thank you for that lively interview.